Hey everyone, welcome to Susquehanna Valley Church Podcast. My name is Matt Saxinger. I'm head pastor here. We are excited to have you join us. We're going to help you think about stuff you need to think about, talk about stuff you need to talk about. And we've got a special guest with us today, Miss Rachael Quinn. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
And Rachael, what in the world do you do?
I like to say I'm the chaos coordinator, but I am the kids ministry director here at Susquehanna Valley.
Okay, because chaos coordinator could mean a lot of things about our staff here.
Yep.
You could be talking about Connor's personal assistant.
I mean, no.
Okay, all right. So you are kids ministry. How long have you been doing that?
A long time. I've been here at the church almost 6 years now. So, yeah.
6 years. Do you like it?
I would hope so, since I've been here this long. I absolutely love kids. So, yeah, I like it.
Good, cool. What is it like? Give me a story of a time that a kid just did something totally unexpected or broke something. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sure you got something.
I have a recent story. I won't mention as to who or what happened, but a kid came up and was seeming very lovingly on a volunteer and ended up sneaking a little bite on that said volunteer, and the volunteer thought they were hugging them, and all of a sudden they got
this
bit.
Is a story about my kids.
No, not your kid,
Okay.
not your kid.
I'm just thinking, like, if this is your way of telling me something that happened in kids ministry, I'm not okay with this. All right.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
personal space invasions happen a lot.
can kids have rabies? I guess they could.
I don't know.
That's
Probably.
a legitimate concern for your well-being. I'm sorry. Wow, your job is harder than I thought. Yeah, there's some exposure issues there. Wow. All right, well, let's move on from that. So yeah, we're kind of in. You talk chaos coordinator, right? So we're in a time that's kind of chaotic right now. We got, the whole stuff going on with the virus, and we got a bunch of kids that are locked in their homes. And so I'm just curious, like from your perspective, how can we, and myself asking as a parent, how can we as parents make the most of this time with our kids?
So I think right now we are in a time where the world is kind of scary to kids, and when the world is scary to kids, they really look to you as a parent to kind of guide them through that. And so as much as you think that keeping a schedule is great, because it is, don't get me wrong, you being fun is most important to your kids right now. Sure. Allowing them to see you in a place where in your home you're carefree and you're silly and you let loose and you do all of those fun, awesome things like start a bracket on video games, like who's going to be eliminated. Those types of things really show them that you're going to kind of be regular and steadfast, but also fun. And so it's not a traumatic experience. Yeah. It's more of remember those 2 weeks that we were inside and we did all that amazing stuff?
Yeah. And even if it ends up being 8 weeks, it's our job as parents to set the tone for how we're going to navigate through this. We're people of faith. We're not going to be thrown by this. If we've still got God, then everything's going to be all right. If we've still got each other, then hey, that's awesome too. And we're gonna navigate through. So I think there's some lessons there that we've been looking as a family and saying, how can this be a positive shaping experience for them that can mold them for life? Because we're still planning on them growing up and leaving the house and having jobs and getting married and getting out.
Couch surfing.
So, no couch surfing. And one of the things that we've looked at and said is, we're going to teach them lessons about considering other people. So the whole social distancing thing has been a time for us to look and say, like, hey, we don't even know if you have an illness, but we need to think about that person. And if we do have something, then we don't want to get too close. So it's been a good time for us to just say, this isn't a time that's all about us. It's for the good of society. It's for other people and being compassionate and concerned.
I think the time right now is so uncertain that when they see you, they're watching for how you react. And when they see you be steadfast in your reaction and you're peaceful and you're not you're not falling into that chaos of the world, it gives them a good example of how they're supposed to react. So if things aren't different with dad, then things aren't different with your sons.
Right. Yep. So your faith's got to stay grounded. We put that challenge out there to read through the book of John 3 chapters a day. I hope you're following through on that, because that's going to be that influx of spiritual truth that we need. We're going to keep putting out content for you guys to watch. One of the things I think is important for us is whenever things go wrong, we tend to like slow down on our discipline process, and that's not good. Mm-mm. You want to be consistent with that, because if you're not consistent with discipline, it's just going to fall apart. And they're going to rule the house. They're not created by God to rule a house. It will fail every time. If you make parenting about your kids liking you and getting their way, it will fail. And it's just not supposed to be that way. If you have consistent, controlled discipline, then you don't go crazy. Mm-hmm. You've set boundaries that you stick to, and you're not losing it. And if you're not losing it, then they're not, they're not dealing with the fallout of that.
And emotionally, your kids need those boundaries. They need that. Sure. They need to understand that here's the line, and as I cross it, this is the discipline I'm going to receive. And it can't be vastly different from time to time. It has to be consistent. When you emotionally prepare them for that consistency allows them the freedom to be who they are.
Consistent and controlled. If you lose control, you can't, I say it all the time, you cannot parent impatience with impatience and expect patient results. It doesn't work like that.
Say that a couple times.
Yeah. Impatience doesn't equal patience. But really the heart of why we wanted to talk to you and to bring Rachael on was to say, like, what are we going to do with our kids for this time? And so why don't you walk us through what the Kids Men plan for the next however long, as we're going to trust God and navigate through it. What's the plan?
So let me put a disclaimer out there. Being bored is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, amen to that.
It creates that imagination in your kids, and it creates a time where some of the craziest games we've ever come up with in Kids Men have had to do with just being completely bored. We play this sleeping game, and if you ask your kids about the game Sleep, you'll really find out that it's just a way for them all to be quiet and not laugh. And so there's a piece of just allowing your kids to be bored. That's okay. But in that, there's also a bit of spiritual guidance that we at Susquehanna Valley are trying to offer to you guys in saying that Kids Men is looking to do a couple of things for you. One of them is we are currently working on a worship set. This Sunday, we had an amazing worship time.
Past Sunday,
yeah. Just an amazing worship time that was live on Facebook, and it just really brought us together. But I did get a couple of emails and text messages from parents asking if there were hand motions.
Yeah, what about the motions?
What about the hand motions? And a lot of hand motions.
If I was singing, there would have been hand motions. Come on, worship team. Get with the program. I'm going to put myself on. That's what I'm going to do.
It's also very hard sometimes when your kids know the hand motions and it seems a little bit silly to you to do them. But part of letting loose is also letting your kids understand that it's okay to worship in the way they worship. And so we do a lot of hand motions because it keeps them active. It keeps them involved in that time of worship.
They're not punching their sibling if they're raising their hand in hallelujah. It's just simple biological truth.
I think there's a piece of that, but also structure to the motions?
Maybe
yeah, okay.
But no, so let me jump on that idea with a dad, being a dad, and I think back to times when my dad was, I'm going to use the phrase that I said about him to make fun of him, but he was corny and he was goofy, and I remember thinking back and saying, I'm never going to be a corny dad. One day in college, when my friends saw me do something and laugh at something, they looked at me and they said, you are so going to be a corny dad. And ever since then, I've just embraced it. It's just like if there was a jersey, it might say that on the back.
I'm pretty sure it's the black New Balances. I think that's what it is.
This is the truth. Like they were all talking, the staff were all talking about dad shoes. And I was like, I don't wear dad shoes. And one of them was like, I bet right now, without even looking, you have black New Balances on. And I was like, we just need to move on from the conversation.
He shut it down real quick.
literally was wearing, and am wearing black New Balances right now. And my reasonings, I started to list why, and everybody was like, that's because you're a dad. You care about the money. You care about the matching, the way they match more things. It's like it's your dad answer. So I've learned to embrace dad jokes, dad shoes, and I've learned to embrace corny dad stuff if it means that it's a venue for me to talk to my kids and be spiritual with my kids.
Yeah.
Like if me being open about that side of stuff, if me talking to my kids about spiritual stuff helps them to know Christ and follow Christ, I need to be willing to do it.
Yeah. I have some of the best memories I have of my dad. He creates songs. And so some of those songs, I mean, I was too old, but he was teaching elementary, or actually I think it was preschool and Sunday school, and he had just these funny songs. And but for me, the part of that was so influential is that I remember the lyrics to those silly songs. There was a song about marching raccoons, and I could sing it for you. I won't, but I could sing it for you. And so many times you hear of, if your kids are in our kids ministry, you hear Miss Rachael stories, and it's all about how I misbehaved and how I created this learning experience for other people to learn from. But it's just, you connect with your kids on a level that creates a comfortability for them to then turn around and say, oh, remember when Dad did Father Abraham with us and how he did it wrong and we had to tell him how to do it right. It's just those fun experiences that you create that then encourage your children to be in that place of learning with you.
So all I'm thinking in my head for the last 30 seconds into a minute is, what does marching raccoon sound like? And now I'm doing it to the tune of Father Abraham. I think I've got a hit on my hands. I think there's potential here.
I'm not going to sing it for you, but
I'm going to talk to Nick.
We can talk about it later. But
all right, so Thursday night we're doing kids worship.
We're working towards it. So the goal would be Thursday night, but we are working towards a live worship for the kids so that you as a family can come together. You can see the motions. You get to see me make a fool out of myself like I do every Sunday morning, because to me, showing those kids and being a part of that with them is something regular for them. On Sunday mornings they show up and I make a fool of myself, because to me, that's what opens up that doorway to talk.
And we want to see pictures. Like we'll do some sort of contest for like best family dance video to this. I think it'll be a good time, and I'm in it to win it. Okay.
Yeah.
There will be New Balances moving like you've never seen
acid
New
wash
Balances
jeans.
moving. I don't even know what you just said, but dad jeans.
New Balances and acid wash jeans.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take it. All right. So that's coming out, and we're going to put out some stuff Sunday morning.
Yeah. So Sunday morning kids curriculum, there's going to be a video for you and your family kind of to go and sit. There's different age groups. There's preschool, because kids learn at different speeds, and a preschooler needs something a little bit different than a sixth grader needs. So,
and I find myself on that preschool level a lot. So I think
so the bottom line is you can follow Jesus for preschool this year. But the whole point is for you as a family to sit down and watch this video. And we know that you have different age kids, so it's okay. But there's an elementary piece, there's a preschool piece, and then there's a preteen piece, which is our 5th and 6th grade class. And it allows you to sit, and there's a little bit of a music video at the beginning. The kids don't know that song yet, but it's a great experience for you guys to learn alongside them.
Yeah.
And then I have created just a little bit of a discussion piece so that you at different ages can sit down and say, well, what does it mean? This next week is focusing on forgiveness. So what does it mean to forgive someone, and what does that look like?
Yeah, I'm putting it in your terms, in your life testimony of how you've wrestled with why it was hard.
Yeah.
This is the scriptures that talk about, hey, as you're walking along the road, as you're sitting at home, as you're in the field, you should be teaching your kids these truths. This is it. So there's going to be some other content coming out. We'll surprise you with different things. One of the things I'm really excited about that you're doing that to me is like a gift to my family is you've called it Boredom Busters.
Yeah. Yeah, so Boredom Busters, we're going to come up with a couple of ideas for you as a family to get together and just have fun. And what that means is whether it's building the ultimate living room fort. Yeah, that could be some serious.
Like 2x4, 16 inches on center. We're going to frame in some window. We're going to
Perfect.
build a house within a house.
I don't know how you're going to get it out of your house, but...
We'll figure it out. Dismantling will be another contest.
Some of those boredom busters and what it really looks like for us to help you as a family connect on some of that outrageous things. If I'm not known for anything, I mean, I guess I'm known for a couple of things, but it would be some of the craziest things that I've put together. And I want to encourage you as a family. I'm going to do some things that are household things. I don't want to send you outside of your home because during this time we're supposed to be together in our homes. But just really putting those boredom busters together. If it's a video game challenge, or if it's a dance party, or if it's a just being completely crazy and backwards dressing, or just those pieces of a talent show, whatever it looks like to really connect you and your family together.
I love it. I'm going to actually give a boredom buster right now for tonight.
Okay.
That we want to see some kids cooking videos. Like,
Yeah.
just do your best to film, even with it's just your phone, and
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Let them mess it up.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not burn it, you know, but
No, but when
we
you
still want you to have a house.
when you allow them to do those different things, they don't usually cook for you. Sometimes when they cook, they mess things up. Try it. But the part of that makes the memory is all about you're trusting them to do something that they don't usually do.
The Saxinger boys are going to cook some teriyaki steak stir fry tonight.
Yum.
It's going to happen.
Yum.
And I'm excited. We're going to see how it works. We got to walk and everything. So
Nice.
yeah, stay tuned for the video later.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. I think that this is just an opportunity for families to really spend that time together. I know a family in our church made pies on Pie Day.
I'm still disappointed as they haven't arrived. I'm assuming they're shipping them to me.
So those pictures.
No,
to
I'm
me,
not done. I'm assuming they're shipping the pies to me. Just gonna say that one more time.
All right.
Hey, all right. So let's kind of wrap it up. What's one thing you want parents to keep in mind for the next however long?
Be available.
I like it.
Listen to them, play with them, spend time with them, be silly, but be available. I know some of you are still working from home, and so it's not really time that you get to spend with them, but be available. Be there to hear what their concerns are. Be there to play with them. Be there to just create an amazing time that's, rather than it being scary and anxious for them, that is just fun and filled with memories.
Absolutely. And I think with that be available piece, what you're saying is you're more important than the article I'm reading. You're more important than the feed on Facebook. You're more important than the text I'm sending. And that's a message that I need to do a better job sending to my kids. So, Rachel, thanks so much for coming on. Thank you for listening, everybody out there. And just want to say, hey, this is not just stuff to think about. This is stuff to talk about. Talk about it with a spouse or with other people. Talk about this stuff with your kids.
Yeah, talk about it with your kids.
Yeah, awesome. So we love you guys, and we'll have you check back with us another time. Thank you.